And then from the chase, then it leads into like an engagement. So we talk about marriage. So the engagement is that next step. And then the engagement is another level of excitement, right? It's like, oh, I want to make you my wife, or I'm going to be your husband, or whatever the case may be. And that's another heightened level of the honeymoon phase. And then from that engagement to whatever duration of time till we get to the wedding, then the wedding is another high. It's like another bump. And then you get excited about that. We have this, you might have a ceremony, you might not, but you're eloping, and then you actually might have an actual honeymoon. So it's all this buildup that takes place earlier in the relationship. From that buildup, the honeymoon phase can last for maybe another year or so, depending on how you set up. For myself, our honeymoon phase, I would say probably lasted about a year, but we went from marriage to pregnant, and that was done deliberately. So we had a kid right away, and I would say that our honeymoon phase probably lasted about a year, but probably about midway through that, it was like full on. I'm a pregnant mother. I need to figure out what this is like, and we didn't have children. It was our first kid together, so
Okay.
that's a whole nother phase, right? Is do you become parents or do you not? What I would suggest is that when people get married, that they take at least 2 years to understand what marriage means to them. And I think that gets missed a lot for folks, especially if they hop into kids real quick, or they already had kids before, prior to getting married or whatever the case may be. That dynamic ends up shifting. So we have that honeymoon phase that can last anywhere between dating to engagement all the way to maybe about a year or two into the actual marriage. From there, it's a discovery phase. You're learning how to be a husband. You're learning how to be a wife. Hell, you might be learning how to be parents or co-parenting or blending families or whatever the case may be. You're in discovery mode, and that's where things get tricky. A lot of marriages end up being unsuccessful within like the first 4 to 6 years. That's because the discovery doesn't always meet the expectations that happen in the honeymoon phase. So you're trying to understand who you are in the dynamic, the other person trying to understand who they are in the dynamic, and y'all had expectations on each other that you may not have talked about, or they haven't actually crossed paths, and now you're bumping heads.